What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Squatch Den. I am Mr. Gaming Squatch, and if you got to see yesterday's unboxing video, then you know exactly how we managed to get here, and you know what's going to be coming too. Also, the title screen will also tell you what we're doing, but that's besides the point. You're here now. Welcome. So, as you can see here, we have ourselves the Legend of Zelda Game & Watch, and it's already a beautiful little thing, isn't it? I love it. Look at that. That is just so nice. And a little tidbit I didn't really mention in the other video is that when you have this on, the afterglow of the screen creates the lit up Triforce. If you can see that. Look at that. That is so sick. I love that, and I can't wait to see how they managed to do that in the teardown of this video. We'll see how they managed to do that. I would imagine it's probably going to be like a regular light diffuser kind of thing, like they do in smartphones and computers or whatever. So what you're going to need today to be able to get into your Game & Watch is you're going to need yourself a tri-wing screwdriver, which is pretty much like a Phillips head screwdriver, but it's only got 3 points. Remember that. And then you'll also need a Phillips head screwdriver, which I would imagine if it's going to be the same as the Mario Game & Watch, it's probably going to be the same thing. It's going to be the tri-wing on the outside and then the Phillips head on the inside, that tends to be a typical Nintendo thing because not everybody has tri-wing screwdrivers, so it kind of prevents people from getting into the systems. But us collectors, we know what we're doing. We got what we need. So let's just turn that off for now. Like I said, you're going to have 4 tri-wing screws on the back. Let's get on into it. Try to do this around tripods here. Okay. I'm not expecting a whole lot from tearing this down. I don't know why I had a southern drawl. It's because I started screwing up how to say tear down. Besides trying to figure out how they managed to do that little light up trick on the back there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's like the afterglow of the screen through a light diffuser or something. Alright, so we have it done. Let's crack her open. Okay, and as soon as the top wants to come undone, there we go. So there's nothing holding the top together, it's just a piece of plastic with, looks like a very thin cutout of the Triforce, and then we have the actual little cutout, which, like I said, it seems like it's just an afterglow. It is. It's just whatever glow from the screen, I believe. We won't truly be able to tell. Anyway, like I said in my last video, this is just the same Joy-Con battery that they use for their Switches and then a regular old speaker for it. But it does seem like it's similar to the Mario Game & Watch. Why not, for the sake of the video, let's open that up too. Okay. Which is the same thing for the Mario one, is 4 tri-wing screws for that as well. My little Mario one's definitely gotten some love over the year that it's been out. I kind of keep it on my shelf, both as a display thing and when I feel like going to the bathroom, I take it. A little more you know about Game & Squatch. Okay, and then same thing, try to take that top part off. Same thing, nothing really holding this one together except for this little, the only noticeable difference, actually it's not even a difference, it's the same thing. The button for the power button up top there. So far, okay, let's move these out of the way here. So far, not too much of a difference besides using white plastic for the Zelda one, and then gray up here, and then obviously this little cutout in the board. Let's get you zoomed in a little bit here. Besides the usual, there's not too much of a difference. Now, as far as the whole, is it 1 megabyte of battery, or I mean not battery, memory or anything, I have no idea. I'm not super technical about that sort of stuff. But the only super noticeable difference between the two of these right now is, like I said, that tri-wing cutout kind of looks, obviously makes it different. Let's see, how many screws do we have holding this thing in now? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 11 screws holding this thing in. Do we have the same for the Game & Watch? I did not even notice. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Really? Huh. Okay, no difference then. I just never noticed that until now. My bad. Oh well, anyway, so that's the back of it so far. And I think let's take our little tweezers here and just disconnect the battery. Like that. Okay, battery is disconnected, and there's probably going to be some sort of like a glue or tape or something in the back here to keep that battery in place, which I'm not going to try and mess with until I get this out. So let's disconnect our ribbon cables on the bottom here. Got to be very careful with them. They are very fragile. So let's try and get this. That's popped up. Okay. Now we will take our Phillips head screwdriver and unscrew them. Try to get you a better view down there. Okay. There. They come out pretty easily. Of course, when you yeet them across your desk, that's a little different. They come out pretty easily. Unfortunately, for anybody that knows me, I have a very unstable hand, and I hate that. But that's just how I am. Yeah, luckily these are pretty easy to come out. Oh, no, don't you dare. Oh, no, don't you dare do that. Alright. There we go. Little screw. Did not want to come out there. Okay. I believe we have these last 2 screws at the charging port. Alright, now all the screws are removed. Now we should be able to just lift this bad boy out of here. Nope, I lied. I have missing this one. I missed this one. There we go, without staying in there again. Now we should be able to lift up the board, and the board is still attached to that speaker, which is all attached to this whole getup that we got here. And yeah, it is actually just a little light diffuser down there, that's all. This is our little silicone membrane for the D-pad buttons down there. And like I said, same thing as the Game & Watch, Mario Game & Watch. It just has this little channel to sort of reverberate out that little hole down there, while also kind of like acting as its own little subwoofer to kind of give it some vibration. But yeah, so this is our D-pad side, and that's this side, and it looks like this is some foam. It's either foam, yeah, it's like foam, to sort of as like a insulator or buffer between the screen and the plastic. We'll set that to the side there, and then I think on the inside here we got the obvious screen, got the start and select and A and B buttons, which is actually a pretty cool mix that they just sort of mixed the inks together, or not inks, the gelatin, I guess you could say, whatever the membrane material they use together to get that red and gray. Instead of just doing two separate membranes, they just kept it together. That's definitely interesting. So there we have that, and then I believe this stays attached to there like that. So that's how that is, and then of course you have the buttons up top here, your 3 buttons there, and then the same thing as the Game & Watch Super Mario one. I don't know why I keep just saying it the wrong way. Kind of just sits in there like that, and that's it. I'm not going to pop the screen out because I don't want to risk damaging it or anything. And so that's the teardown for that one. And then we, to be 100% honest, if you want to see the full teardown of this, go ahead and check out that other video of me taking that completely apart. But it's pretty much the same premise of unplugging the battery and then taking out the screws, and that's pretty much it. Nothing whole lot to it. So let's put this little bad boy back together. Put this bad mamma jamma down. Like I said, this is just held down by some glue, but I don't really feel like taking it apart entirely. So we have this sitting in here properly, I believe. Yeah, because look, you even have inside that little area here, you have this little green peg there that kind of lines it up. So that should be good there. Let's start screwing them back in. Good. Of course, usually it would be really nice if I had magnetic tips. Sorry, I'm making sure it's the right screw. Yes, it is. Yeah, it would really help if I had magnetic tip screwdrivers. Okay. Let's get it in here first. Thank you. Just so we can at least have it set in there. There we go. There. Do that. Okay, let's put one here. Sometimes a good tip for when you're trying to get things in and you don't want to ruin the threads, especially on plastic, is if you're not 100% sure about going and trying to get it in there, just go backwards, like counterclockwise a little bit until you can feel it catch on, and then screw it in. Because you don't want to strip the threads, because then you'll really be in trouble and you won't be able to screw it back in. There we go. Now, like I said, for anybody that's probably like, oh my god, how could you take that apart? It's gonna be so rare, you're ruining it, blah blah blah. It's not entirely that I'm ruining it, because I'm putting it back together the way that I had it previously, so it will be working. And I didn't pay for a warranty for this, so it's not like I'm voiding any warranties. I'm doing this for the sole educational purposes of anybody who wants to own one of these and may not know how to go about taking this apart. There you go. You don't want to go too much because then you don't want to strip the actual threads. So we're almost there. We just got a few more screws. As soon as I can get my fingers to work to get them in. I also noticed the little water thing right here, the water damage indicator, which is pretty smart that they put it right next to the charging port, because usually that might be the easiest entry for water to get in, so that they can then determine, like, oh, well, you dropped this in water or got it wet, that's why it's not working. And come on. Like I said, I do not have the most stable hand to do this, especially from a distance as well, because I'm kind of reaching around a tripod right now. Okay, and then we have one last screw here. Once I get this last screw in, you'll want to put the ribbon cables back. There we go. Alright, now, being very careful and gentle, you will want to put your ribbon cables back into place. If they want to go in, because sometimes your little tweezers don't want to work with you. Like that. And we are in. It's secured. Now we get this little boy, this little guy here, trying to get him in. Sometimes these things can be very fickle, but you just gotta have a little bit of patience, because you don't want to rip that little cord. Because then you gotta go and get a new screen. Let's see if we can try to get this. There we go, and then I believe, lock that down. We will plug our battery back in. It's sort of like when you're doing projects like this, it's sort of doing the steps is kind of like walking down a hallway and then walking back out, because you're going down the same way that you came back in. Just reversing your steps. Retracing your steps, I should say. And then, for sake of it, hey, it lives. It lives. Awesome. So that is awesome, right? Let's see here. Yep. Wheels. Something did not get set back. Something did not get set back. Oh no, that's because I didn't put the time right. I was like, why is this not working? Okay. Game, time, okay. Everything is actually working. My bad, people. Did not mean to, oh, hold on. Okay, auto sleep off. So therefore, if I wanted to, I can set it to where I can have auto sleep in 3 minutes, or I can have it off and just leave it on as a watch. That's a big improvement from the last one. The other one does not stay on or stay off, honestly. Let's prop this one back together. Let's click her back together. Okay. This one, time. Yeah, this one changes the layout. Yeah, it just has set time. It doesn't actually give you any difference. So that's a nice little tidbit of information for you. You can have this either always on and just drain the battery, or plugged in, or if you wanted to bypass that, you take the battery out and leave it plugged in, and it won't, I believe it doesn't turn off. I think that's the only hitch, is that when you leave this one plugged in, even with a battery on, it stays on. This one will stay on without a cord, but you can choose to plug it in using the stand. Alright, I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you find it very helpful for in case you ever want to take one apart yourself for either modding or just to get your know your product a little bit better. And yeah, so if you haven't already, check out some of my other videos on my channel, and I hope you guys stay happy, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the Squatch Den again.